I'm Christi, the creator slash co-writer slash editor of the Late Nell Avery.
And I'm Duncan, the director of the Late Nell Avery.
And today we will be answering some of your questions about season 2 and just the series in general.
Jason, who plays Felix and is also the assistant director, was supposed to be here answering questions as well, but he's off saving a foreign country again, so he couldn't make it.
So we will be reading his answers to some of the questions via texts he sent us. Before we get started though, we are going to, drumroll please, announce the release date of the first episode of season 2.
Woo!
It is September 3rd. Mark your calendars. That's not too far away either, just a few weeks, so be on the lookout. September 3rd. Question number 1 is, are there going to be any new cast members in season 2?
We do have one new character entering the cast, and we also have another actress coming in to play Corinne because unfortunately Tessa could not continue filming with us.
And we will be announcing those two actors at a later date.
Are there any significant changes in season 2?
Yes. You may remember this thing that happened at the very end of season 1. That is a thing that leads into season 2 that changes things quite a bit. So
Quite a bit.
yes, significant changes. Look forward to those. Will Cassie and Nell be BFF?
For that, you're gonna have to watch season 2. Suspense! Will they leave the room?
So technically for season 2, the camera will stay in the exact same place it was for season 1. Like, they're not going to be taking the camera out of Cassie's room, but unfortunately we had some difficulties continuing to film in the same room. So we will be changing the set about halfway through season 2, but within the Late Nell Avery canon, it's the same room because, you know, Nell can't leave the room. So just suspend your disbelief. So these next two questions are for Jason, so we'll read them out and then read out Jason's answers to them. Jason, where did you draw your inspiration for Felix? Also, what is his favorite color and why?
The character of Felix is actually a composite character. I first used myself as a base and begun trying to use scenes from a variety of films to help accent his actions and tones. So his core is like me, a comic book fan who gets touchy when people diss his hair. However, I would channel certain characters during scenes that Felix would love. For instance, during the Felix the Medium scene, I tried to boom my voice like Bruce Campbell did in Army of Darkness, a film Felix undoubtedly watched many times. Felix's favorite color is glow in the dark. Cassie has tried telling him on numerous occasions it's not a real color, but he insists it is because a glow in the dark Power Ranger would be the best addition to the show.
Amazing. The words of Jason McCall, everyone.
Where did the idea for the Late Nell Avery come from?
So originally, Annie and Annie's the co-writer with me, we were talking about doing a Hamlet web series, but we never really even started writing it, and we found out that there was already a Hamlet web series online, so we kind of dropped it. But I was still wanting to create something, and I was kind of thinking about making a more original idea rather than basing it off of something, and so I think that the ghost thing from Hamlet kind of stuck in my mind, and I started thinking about like how someone would vlog if they had a ghost in their room, and it just kind of came to me. What is the best piece of advice you can give for someone wanting to start making web series?
Really, it's just about finding other people who are as passionate about it as you are and want to make it a thing.
My advice for if you want to make a web series is not only to like do it and get people involved, but also to just watch as many other web series as you can and learn what you like and don't like. What is your favorite ghost story besides obviously this one?
On the campus of our college, there's this big old building, and in front of that building is this tree that used to have a tire swing. So there's this janitor who would always be cleaning the front door of the really old building. And one night he saw this little girl swinging on the rope swing, just staring at him. And he opened the door to look out there, and suddenly she was gone. The rope swing was completely still, as if it hadn't been swinging, so he freaks out a little bit. The next night, he looks, and she's a step closer. And then he opens the door, she's gone. The next night, she's a step closer, blah, blah, blah. And eventually he's just like, I can't take this anymore, I'm gone. And so he quit, he disappeared, no one ever heard from him again. And, you know, a new janitor came in, he saw nothing. New janitor came in, he saw nothing. And then they're like, I wonder what happened to the first janitor that saw it. And they tried to look him up and find him, and all record of his existence was just gone. No birth certificates, nothing. He disappeared, he never existed.
I'm going to read Jason's answer to favorite ghost story. Once while I was trying to sleep, I kept hearing what sounded like my brother call my name. After I shouted for him to leave me alone a couple times, I remembered he was at my parents' place. I was alone in the house. To this day, I have no idea who was saying my name. I do not have a favorite ghost story because they freak me out, and so I try to forget about them.
Without spoiling anything, describe your favorite moment in season 2 using only one word.
Wrapping paper.
Raccoon.
And the word Jason sent us is pajamas. Thank you guys so much for watching and sending in your questions.
Look forward to season 2, I guess.
Yeah. September 3rd.
What's a ghost pun that we could say, like, for goodbye?
Good boo.
Oh, gosh.
Boo bye.
Yeah. Got a ghost.